For our Bible reading for today, we're going to read the book of John, chapter 11 until chapter 12. It says, There was a man named Lazarus who was sick. He lived in the town of Bethany, where when Mary and her sister Martha lived. Mary is the same woman who put perfume in the Lord and wiped his feet. And wiped his feet with her hair. Mary's brother was Lazarus, the man who was now sick. Excuse me. So Mary and Martha sent someone to tell Jesus, Lord, your dear friend Lazarus is sick. When Jesus heard this, he said, the end of this sickness will not be death. No, this sickness is for the glory of God. This has happened to bring glory to the Son of God. Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. So when he heard that Lazarus was sick, he stayed where he was 2 more days and then said to his followers, we should go back to Judea. They answered, but teacher, there those Jews there tried to stone you to death. That was only a short time ago. Now you want to go back there. Jesus answered, there are 12 hours of light in the days. Whoever walks in the day will not stumble and fall because they can see with the light from the sun, but whoever walks at night will stumble because there is no light. Then Jesus said, our friend Lazarus is now sleeping, but I am going there to wake him. The followers answered, but Lord, if he can sleep, he will get well. They thought Jesus meant that Lazarus was really sleeping, but he really meant that Lazarus was dead. So then Jesus said plainly, Lazarus is dead, and I am glad I was not there. I am happy for you because now you will believe in me. We will go to him now. Then Thomas, the one called twin, said to the other followers, we will go too. We will die there with Jesus. Jesus arrived in Bethany and found that Lazarus had been been wait been dead, and in the something Jesus arrived in Bethany and found that Lazarus had been dead and been in the tomb in 4 days. Bethany was about 2 miles from Jerusalem. Many Jews had come to see Martha and Mary. They came to comfort them and about the brother Lazarus. When Martha heard that Jesus was coming, she went out to greet him, but Mary stayed home. Martha said to Jesus, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But I know that even now God will give you anything you ask." Jesus said, "Your brother will rise and he live again." Martha answered, "I know that he will rise to live again at the time of the resurrections in the later day." Jesus said to her, "I am the resurrection, I am the life. Everyone who believes in me will have life, even if they die, and everyone who lives and believes in me will never really die." "Martha, do you believe this?" Martha answered, "Yes, Lord, I believe that you are the Messiah, the Son of God. You are the one who is coming to the world." After Martha said these things, she went back to her sister Mary. She talked to Mary alone and said, "The teacher is here. He is asking for you." When Mary heard this, she stood up and went quickly to Jesus. He had not yet come into the village. He was still at the place where Martha met him. The Jews who were in the house comforting Mary saw her get up and leave quickly. They thought she was going to the tomb to cry, so they followed her. Mary went to the place where Jesus was. When she saw him, she bowed at his feet and said, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not be dead." When Jesus saw Mary crying, and the people with her crying too, he was very upset and deeply troubled. He asked, Where did you put him?" When Jesus saw, they said, "Lord, come and see." Jesus cried. And the Jews said, "Look, he loved Lazarus very much." But some of them said, "Jesus healed the eyes of the blind man. Why didn't he help Lazarus and stop him from dying?" Again, feeling very upset, Jesus came to the tomb. It was a cave with a large stones covering the entrance. He said, "Move the stone away." Martha said, "But Lord, it has been 4 days since Lazarus died. There will be a bad smell." Martha was the sister of the dead man. Then Jesus said to her, Remember what I told you. I said that if you believe, you will see God's divine greatness." So they moved the stones away from the entrance. Then Jesus looked up and said, "Father, I thank you that you heard me. I know that you always hear me, but I said these things because of the people here around me. I want them to believe that you sent me." After Jesus said this, he called in a loud voice, "Lazarus, come out." The dead man came out. He His hands and feet were wrapped with piece of cloth. He had a handkerchief covering his face. Jesus said to the people, "Take off that cloth and let him go." There were many Jews who came to visit Mary. When they saw what Jesus did, many of them believed in him, but some of them went to the Pharisees and told them what Jesus did. Then the leading priests and Pharisees called a meeting of the high council. They said, "What should we do? This man is doing many miraculous signs. If we let him continue doing these things, everyone will believe in him. Then the Romans will come and take away your temple and our nation." One of the men there was Caiaphas. He was the high priest that year. He said, "You people know nothing. It is better for one man to die for the people than for the whole nation to be destroyed. But you don't realize this." Caiaphas did not think of this himself. As the years as that year's high priest, he was really prophesying that Jesus would die for the Jewish people. Yes, he will die for the Jewish people, but he would also he will wait. He will also die for God's other children scattered all over the world. He will die to bring them all together and make them one people. That day, the Jewish leader began planning to kill Jesus, so Jesus stopped traveling around openly among the Jews. He went away to a town called Ephraim, in an area near the desert. He stayed there with his followers. It was almost time for the Jewish Passover festival. Many people from the country went to Jerusalem before the Passover. They went to do the special things to make themselves pure for the festivals. The people looked for Jesus. They stood in the temple area and asked each other, "Is he coming to the festival? What do you think?" But the leading priests and the Pharisees had given special orders about Jesus. They said that anyone who knew where he was must tell them so that they could arrest him. Chapter 12. 6 days before the Passover festival, Jesus went to Bethany. That is where Lazarus lived, the man Jesus raised from dead. There they had a dinner, for Jesus. Martha serves the food, and Lazarus was one of the people eating with Jesus. Mary brought in a pint of expensive perfumes made of pure nard. She poured the perfume in Jesus' feet. Then she wiped his feet with his hair, and the sweet smell from the perfume filled the whole house. Judas Iscariot, one of Jesus' followers, was there, the one who would later hand Jesus over to his enemies. Judas said, "That perfume was worth a full year's pay. It should have been sold, and the money should have been given to the people But Judas did not really care about the poor. He said this because he was a thief. He was the one who kept the money bag for the group of followers, and he often stole money from the bag. Jesus answered, "Don't stop her. It was right for her to save this perfume for today, the day for me to be prepared for burial. You will always have those who are poor with you, but you will not always have me." Many of the Jews heard that Jesus was in Bethany, so they went there to see him. They also went there to see Lazarus, the one Jesus raised from death. So the leading priests made plans to kill Lazarus too, because of him many Jews were believing them and believing in Jesus. That is why they wanted to kill Lazarus too. The word of God. Thank you so much, Paul, for coming. I will end this live and I will restart again because I'm going out. So thank you so much. Thank you to Mr. Jiang and to Miss Anne Vangs. Thank you so much. God bless you all. I hope you will come again tomorrow. Thank you. Bye bye. Happy Sunday. God bless everyone.